Welcome to Saving Us, where we discuss relationships in marriage, family, and beyond. Relationships are hard work and should be a priority. These discussions are here to help you navigate the waters of insecurity and frustration and hopefully guide you to a place of peaceful fulfillment in your own relationships. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Saving Us. We are in season 2, and this is episode 6. And our topic for today is navigating political conversations in the workplace.
Ooh,
How do you do that? That is
You want to talk
hard.
about that?
We will talk about it. But first, we're going to move into our first segment, which is positive words. And what is your positive word today, sir?
My positive word is veritable. Veritable.
Mm-hmm.
So veritable means that whatever you say is in fact the thing that is named, and it's not false. So really, it just means like a reliable truth. Yes, a reliable truth. So it's not imaginary. But it can be used. The reason why it's interesting, because it's just not something that's true. It's often used to describe a metaphor. So that's interesting to me. Like that speaker has a veritable mountain of references. So, mountain of references, mountain is the metaphor for all the references the person has. Veritable is the adjective that describes the mountain. So it's reliable.
They're actual references, like the person did not make them up.
Right.
Which happens a lot. Man, right. I have not been in the workplace very long because I raised kids most of the time. So, some people lie on their resumes.
What?
I did not know this.
Oh,
and it's
no.
quite common that people lie. Professors, people looking to be professors tell untruths.
Do they? No, Dee Dee. Do you mean they, embellish? Do you mean they just,
They lie. They lie.
I guess it's a
People
lie.
lie a lot. One more thing, you guys. Do not trust what you read on the Googles or on the Yahoos or on the Bings, any of that.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust it. I know. I am guilty. I thought stuff, if you find it on Google and it's supposed to be a scholarly work or something, it's true. I found an article because I'm working on a paper. I'm telling it, that I thought was a scholarly article. Now, it was not in our database that is connected to our school, like to our library. The article was not in that database. So I went to Google to try to find it, right? So I said, this article is going to work for my paper, so I'm going to find it. So I was reading the article, and the author named a couple of churches that he had done research at, the churches that are in a place where I used to live, right? And he named these two churches, Mount Zion Baptist Church and Bethel Non-Denominational Church in this certain city. I said, there is no Mount Zion Church there. And there is no Bethel Non-Denominational Church.
It's AME.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I kept reading. These churches supposedly have, I think Mount Zion was supposed to have like 500 people or something, and Bethel was supposed to have 300 or 400 people.
Really?
This is not true, you all. I know to this day, if you go to Bethel, you doing good to get about 50 people. Okay? About 50 people. Don't believe everything you read. I was like, this person made up some stuff, and it was well written, very well.
And they put it on the internet?
Put it on the internet like it was a scholarly work. Like it was that Wikipedia. Now I see why professors and high school teachers say, don't trust Wikipedia because anybody can edit it. Anybody can put information in there. You all.
Some of it's true, but you get the other stuff mixed in, and it gets too.
Little leaven spoils the whole lump.
Yeah, I got
Just
you.
be getting false information. I was like, dang, if I didn't know, I would really think this was true. Like this person actually did this research. True. But obviously they did not.
It's not veritable.
Not veritable.
There you go.
That was terrible. But anyway, I digressed. We need to focus.
What's your word?
My word is altruism, which means a belief or practice in the selfless concern for the well-being of others.
Oh.
Yes. So selfless. I am selfless. I mean, I'm not selfless.
You are
But this is what altruism is. I do things that are for the benefit of others without it benefiting myself. So there you go.
Who's an example of that?
Mother Teresa is a good example of that.
Yes, she did many things out of altruism.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the pure benefit of others. Like it wasn't going to do anything for herself at all.
Right. I got you. That's an interesting word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good. Yeah, nothing. I was about to tell something that wasn't true.
Yes.
I was thinking of the word alchemy.
Oh, yeah, alchemy. Yeah.
But that's a different book, and it doesn't say altruism. It says alchemy. But anyway, okay, sorry.
All right. That's all right. We're back on target. That's good.
Yep.
Segment number 1.
Back on track. Now it is time to be accountable. Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. That's good.
All right, so we're talking about health habits. How are your health habits, sir?
You know what? Mine have been better this week.
Good.
I lost another couple pounds.
Whoop, whoop.
So actually, I had lost weight and then I gained a few back. But now I'm back to where I initially lost.
So what changes did you make this week?
Not eating at night as much, late at night, or what I eat changed. Like I ate popcorn, which is not horrible as long as you don't eat a ton of it. But, when you eat at night, if you eat heavy stuff, ice cream or a sandwich or stuff like that, it's not good.
If you're over 40, you'll be up sweating all night, gas, everything. It's just terrible.
Indigestion, what's
and
that?
It doesn't even matter if you were hungry. Like if you didn't eat, all day or whatever, but then you eat at 8, 9 o'clock at night. If it's a if it's something heavy, you're still not going to sleep.
Yeah, pizza.
It's not
can I tell this on the thing? What happened when I ate the pizza the other night? You think that's too nasty? My daughter works at the pizza place, and I picked her up at night, and they had like an extra pizza. So she said, "You want the extra pizza?" So I said, "Sure." So we didn't get home till like 9:30. So by the time I messed around and fiddled around, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna watch a program on TV before I go to bed." And I don't know what time it was, but I ate like 2, maybe 3 pieces of the pizza. Don't you know my stomach started messing up? I threw up. I threw the pizza up. It came back, and then I felt all right. I mean, I wasn't sick, but it sure enough came back, and that has never happened to me. So I know you can't. So what I've been doing is I eat stuff like grapes. See, grapes are
water.
A lot of water. So it fills you up, but it's low in calories. So that's a good thing. So that's what I've been doing.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, I haven't been on the scale this week, so I don't know what's going on.
See, there you go. Hey, it's not bad news.
To be honest, I don't know what's going on. But I have eaten the last couple of days later than I should, and so I have not slept well in the last couple of days.
You did.
I did. I drank a couple glasses of wine this week too, which is not good.
You're supposed to be telling that on the YouTube.
Why not?
I don't know.
Oh, I drink wine from time to time. Deal with it. Anyway,
we call it vino.
I decided not to buy any more wine this week. Guys, I think I would drink wine all the time. So I'm not going to buy it.
That's a good.
So that's good for me because it's not good for you. Even if you just drink a glass. Because I would probably be a person eventually to drink a glass of wine every day. Probably.
You would? You think so?
Probably. At least 3-4 days a week. Probably. Because I like the taste of it, right? But that's not healthy.
To drink it that often?
I don't know for
Paul
sure,
told
but
Timothy,
it don't seem like it would be.
Paul told Timothy, drink a little wine for your stomach. See, I should have.
Yeah, but
that's what I should have done when I ate that pizza.
But how much biblically is a little? Because because when we go to out of the country and people drink things other than water, they are drinking like 4 ounces. Like when we went to India,
right? Yeah,
and they drink the tea or coffee. They are drinking.
That's right.
3, maybe 4 ounces at the most.
Yeah.
But see, I'm drinking a full 8 ounces of mine. I'm not. I am, and I want another glass, but I don't.
No, don't.
Because I'll be like, yeah, that's gonna be too much.
Don't do
but
it.
I would, So that's I'm like. this is why you should not you should not drink, because you probably will lack self-control in that area.
Plus, it's bad for your weight also.
Right. Yes, it's true, because it's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
So I don't need to get on that tip.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker, but I don't see nothing wrong with it if I want to. So I drink
wine.
I drink water most of all, just plain water, not water infused with anything, just water. So that's my thing.
All right.
Listen, I'm giving myself grace. I got 3 weeks of school left in the semester.
What about eating? How have you been doing this week?
I eat.
Have you eaten more than usual? Or have your choices been? I know you eat a lot of salad.
Yeah.
Which I've eaten this week as well.
Yeah, I think I've added too much cheese back in my diet.
Oh, let's see, cheese. Anytime you add cheese,
I know it's just not good.
No.
So that's gonna be my goal for this week, is to I don't know if I want to eliminate it, but yeah, I probably should eliminate it for a week or two.
No bueno.
And then maybe he don't like cheese. But anyway,
it's nasty.
It's heavy.
But you don't eat meat either. You don't eat cheese.
I think
meat.
that's probably why I'm craving the cheese, because it's heavier and I'm not eating meat.
Well, you just have to.
I don't know.
You might have to just find some things to replace the meat.
Yeah.
Like,
I get tired of eating beans. I like beans.
Yeah.
But it has to be a protein, something with a protein in it. And a little heaviness, because like the beans, they got the fiber, so it's heavier in your stomach, and plus it has protein. Cheese has some protein in it too, because it's a dairy. So I think that's why I've been craving it more.
You eat eggs?
I do, but eggs take too long, and so I don't eat them every day. I eat them like one or 2 times a week.
Like 30 seconds.
No, not boiled eggs. I don't eat fried eggs every day. My cholesterol be sky high.
Yeah.
So I don't do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, you got to track yourself before the next one.
That's true.
This is accountability.
Yes.
Track yourself.
Yes.
Check yourself.
I'll try.
All right, that's good.
That's probably code for I'm not going to do it. I'll try means I ain't really going to do it. I won't say I will. I'm not going to say that, because I'm in the house of the Lord.
Oh, Lord.
And it's a Sunday.
It is a Sunday.
We don't tell lies on Sundays. Just on Saturdays.
Oh,
no,
my goodness.
Saturday's a Sabbath. Just on Fridays, because that's our day of relaxation.
You're supposed to eat fish on Friday.
But you can tell a lie too.
You can.
No, not really. Not really.
Oh, Lord.
All right. You ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. No, finances. We didn't talk about accountability in our finances.
Yeah, we made a plan.
Financial checkup.
We paid off one.
We used our stimulus money.
Yes, we did.
To pay off a credit card.
Yes.
That is closed, correct?
It is closed now. Which I'm not sure how good that was, but that's okay.
It's good. I promise.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. It's probably better than,
One of us, you know how people fan money? They fan, I got a lot of money. One of us fans credit cards.
Fans?
Like, I got all the credit cards. I got this card and I got that card. I got this card. I got a card on the computer. I got a card to use my gas. I got a card to get to Apple and the Hulu and the Disney Plus and whatever else we got.
Those are all credit cards. That's a Starbucks card. It's not
Fan, and he'd be like,
anyway,
you want a card? I got a
card.
card.
I got a Kroger card.
52 pickup. There you go. Got a card for you.
Well, there's one less. So there you go. So there you go.
All right. So our next goal is about $4,000.
I think
that's on that card.
A little more than that, but
a little more than that. So
4 is the main number. There's
correct.
Some small numbers after
that. Yeah. So that's our next goal, that we'll get paid off. And if we only make the minimum payment, that'll be a whole year. But we are believing by faith.
That's right.
That we're gonna make that payment.
How glory.
We're gonna pay it off.
That's Aunt Esther right there. How glory.
Sooner than 1 year.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
It's going to happen.
And God's going to make a way for our baby girl to go to college. Because that financial aid office said, y'all can afford to give us $20,000. We said, what? What? We said, huh?
Did you look at what we have?
We ain't got it. And she's in a bridge program. So that's for people who ain't got no money. How you figure she can afford $20,000? I don't know.
They tripping.
But it's gonna work out.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work
Watch this.
We can do it. We can do it.
All right, we got it.
All right, let's move on. Next topic. So I'm in this wonderful career of counseling now.
Yes.
And I'm with all Christian coworkers, all of us in there, Christian people of different variants of Christianity, but all Christian people. So we have political beliefs that are different.
Yes.
And so, of course, there's been conversation. Not directly, I'm Republican. Right. Are you Republican? I'm Democrat. Are you Democrat? You're right. I'm wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. Not like that. But just when different things come up, like our wonderful presidential election back in November.
Yeah, of course, that's going to raise
it's going to bring some stuff out, like the death of a well-known radio host recently.
Right, yeah. Bring conversation.
Just different comments that are made. I try to keep mum's the word and not interject. But I have noticed myself leaving the main office that has all the people to just kind of decompress in the other office that has much less people.
Oh, really?
So I'll take 5-10 minutes, just go over there and go, okay, now I can go back over and just listen to the chatter that's going on.
Right.
But the other day, last week, we were talking about movies.
Okay.
And so...
did y'all talk about King Kong versus Godzilla?
We did talk about King Kong versus Godzilla. They told me the end. They said, don't spoil it for your husband because we know he's a big fan.
That's right.
But, King Kong and Godzilla worked together to conquer the other evil Godzilla.
You just told them in case somebody hadn't seen it.
Oh,
well, it's all right. Still go see it. It's good. It's good.
I didn't think about that. Sorry.
It's awesome.
But yes, we did talk about that. But for some reason, the Judas and the Black Messiah movie came up. One of the young girls were talking about it. So they asked me if I had seen it. So I said, yeah. So then that discussion started. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I wonder how the other side feels about this discussion because we, all the quote unquote liberal people we're talking about that movie and social justice and
right.
All that, Black Lives Matter, all those kinds of things, mass incarceration. We didn't hear any comments from our other, more conservative friends. So I wonder how does that happen for you when you were working? Well, where you currently work and in your corporate years.
Yeah. Well,
how did that work for you?
Well, see, first of all, to be clear, I don't feel like I can't speak for everybody in my family, but I am not a liberal nor a conservative.
Right.
I not aspire. What's the word I'm trying to look for?
Aspire.
I subscribe to Lecrae's theory. Come on, Cray, drop that knowledge. He said Jesus wasn't a conservative, but he wasn't a liberal either. In case you think I'm choosing sides, he didn't have either one. So that's kind of where I am. I'm just, I'm down the middle. There's a lot of things I don't like about both sides. And there's things not biblical about both sides, speaking from a Christian standpoint.
Right.
So in that office where I worked that was in corporate America, it's just the problem was people were so far. So my conservative friends, which I was very good friends with, and had agreed with on some views, obviously, but they were so far over they couldn't even see any points that the other side had to bring up. Nothing. I mean, not just the big stuff that they disagree with. I'm talking about anything at all. But same thing on the liberal side. It was like, you're conservative and you're not about social justice, so I don't want to hear anything else you have to say.
Right.
So I was just kind of one of those bridge people. I was in the middle. I always offered an opposing viewpoint. That's what I did.
To both sides?
To both sides. Yes, I did.
So you got on everybody's nerves.
I got on everybody's nerves, but they all love me. If you're watching this now, you, my friend from work, you love me because I love you too. So, yes, I got on everybody's nerves, I think. So that's what I did, and, then they stopped talking to me about stuff like that because they knew I was going to get on their nerves. I think it's hard, though, in the workplace. Had to have those conversations in the workplace because I think that wherever you stand, you have to stand there. But I think at the same time, wherever you stand, I think you have to be willing to listen because you never get anywhere unless you listen. I don't care who you are.
True.
Or where you stand.
True.
If you
But do you think it's important to engage in political conversation, not come in, with the agenda of starting strife, but like when things come up authentically, and people just start talking about it, if it gets political, do you think you shouldn't engage with it, or do you think you should stay out of it?
I think for me, it depends on the person. See, I think it's about relationships. So I think that if you have a friend at work, like we work together, or, some of the people at work I was good friends with because I had worked there, for 15, 20 years. So we knew each other outside of work. You know what I mean? They say you spend more time at work with those people than a lot of times your own family. So, so it depends. So there's a couple people, and I'm not going to name them, but you probably know. There's a couple people there, one on each side, that I would, because they're friends. So no matter what we agreed or disagreed about, we would still be friends. But I think if a group got into a conversation, I'd stay out of it. I'd just be like, we're here to do work. This AT&T. Right. This ain't this ain't the Democratic caucus. This ain't the Republican convention. It's AT&T. Now you're gonna give some people some phones, or I guess it's not phones anymore. What is it? Cell phones and DirecTV or whatever it is.
Some entertainment.
You're gonna give some people some entertainment. Y'all gonna sit there and argue about stuff you don't have nothing to do with. So I stay out of it unless it's like really good friends. Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
That's good. That's what I was looking for, like advice. Like I try to stay out of all conversations. I just, probably because it was an unusual conversation, because usually it's more conservatively driven, that I found myself a part of the conversation this past week, just because it was different than usual. But yeah, hopefully I will stay out of future conversations both ways, because I just don't want to have a heavy feeling at work. I just want to I just want to go to work to do the work and be happy with the people. So, I don't want differences to come up, and then I don't want to work through no differences at work. I just want to do the work.
That don't have to do with work.
That don't have to do with work, right?
Yeah,
I don't want, no personality differences and all that.
Yeah.
No, that's not why I'm there. I'm there to do the work and get my check. That's all.
That's your
That's
feeling.
it.
Well, I wonder how people feel. Put some comments down there. How you feel? How have you dealt with that, or how do you feel? You can disagree with the way either of us feel. Just what do you feel? So that I'll be interested to see how people deal with that political conversation.
Because
no matter which side you're on, wherever you are, wherever you stand, it doesn't matter. Just how do you deal with it?
We're in such a politically tense atmosphere, anyway, that I'm sure a lot of people have situations that come up.
Yep, I'm sure.
Where they have to deal with that. It's very interesting, though.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, moving on. So our next segment, how do you really feel?
How do you really feel?
So this is our truth-telling segment.
How do I really? Oh, here we go.
Veritable words.
Okay. All right.
Truth. You want me to go first? Or you want to go
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. This is how I really feel about self-acceptance. So I'm coming to it from this perspective. I have learned to accept myself. That means having the intellect that I have, and having the personality that I have, and having gone through all of the choices that I've made in life to right now, right? So I accept all of those things. But one more area that I have learned to accept and to appreciate and really to love is my racial identity in history, being an African American. So being a descendant of slaves brought over, mixed with Europeans too, right? So I've learned to love that. I think because I'm taking a lot of history classes. But I think there are some who want to change what has been traditionally Black in America. They want to put it down. They want to say it's less than, or it's not as good as. For instance, a lot of times if there's a Black owned business that's a service business, there are a lot of people who say, I'm not going to go to a Black business because they're not really going to know what they're doing.
Right.
You know, so you won't get as good a service because they're black. So I guess that means they think their intellect is not as high as a person of a different race. They're, you know, they're not reliable. Those kinds of things. I think we've been so indoctrinated and it's been so ingrained in us that we are only good for entertaining the masses in different ways that our culture, a lot of people in our own culture believe that. So when it comes to different things, they believe blacks are not good. Even if you have confidence in yourself as a person, you see other black people a lot of times, or you see like black people stereotype or in general, and you think it's not as good as whatever other ethnicity group.
Right.
That is no longer the case for me. I don't know that it really ever was predominantly because I was very educated as a kid. I had great grandparents who they were wonderful. So I always known that people are people, no matter who you are, no matter what ethnicity you are, no matter what race you are. There's crazy people in every race. There's smart people in every race. Yeah. There's people who deal with anger, and there's people who love unconditionally in every race. So that's where I am. So I've accepted all of that about me. And if I'm allowed and when I'm allowed, I will be very happy to celebrate that. At the same time, being able to celebrate everything about a person from a different ethnicity.
Yes.
Because it's not good or bad. It just is.
Right.
And we should be able to celebrate it because they're human.
Right.
You know? So, I don't know. That's where I am about, I guess, self-acceptance and accepting others.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said to kind of finish up here on self-acceptance. I mean, I think that that's good because one of the things I've been thinking about is I've had the great opportunity and been blessed to be able to travel around the world, from Haiti to the Philippines to Romania to Europe, different parts of Europe, to Mexico, places we've been, Fiji. And one of the things I've noticed, and you brought this to my attention one time in the Philippines, is that sometimes people, they don't like, well, they even if they like who they are, they don't feel like they live up to a standard based on their color. So a lot of areas around the world that are brown or dark skinned want to lighten themselves up simply because that's the standard. That's what they see on TV. That's what's accepted, whatever. So how do I really feel just on the heels of what you're saying? I feel like I wish people would just love who they are, who they were created to be. I'm not saying inside you don't want to make yourself better. I'm talking about but who you are, who you were created to be. You know, whatever race that is, whatever gender that is, which is a whole nother subject. We can get into that on a different podcast or a different YouTube video. But whatever you're born as, I mean, you were created that way for a reason. You know, if you're Asian, don't try to blend in with the white race or be a different culture. I mean, if you like a different culture, that's something different. That's fine. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying because you don't don't be ashamed of who you are.
Exactly.
Trying to be something else.
Right.
You know, like if I like the Asian culture and I decide to buy some clothes, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or if you like rap and it's supposedly the black culture, or if you like whatever it is, I think celebrating a different culture is wonderful. But just don't do it because you're ashamed of who you are. So self-acceptance, I think people should just be proud of who they make yourself the best. The only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Or am I better than I was yesterday? If not, hey, I got another day. Tomorrow's coming. So that's the person you should compare yourself to. So I like what you're saying about history and just it is what it is. Even history is, and it made us who we are. Whoever you are,
right?
Bad, good, indifferent, ugly, whatever.
Right.
It helped to make us who we are. So that's good.
That's good. So with that, hopefully going forward, we as a community can learn to love ourselves enough, accept ourselves enough to be able to accept other people for who they are and where they are. All right?
Yes.
Always telling the truth. Though.
Oh, yes. Yes. Tell the truth.
Always telling the
A
truth.
veritable mountain of references.
Yes. Fight
Yes.
the power.
Fight the. There you go.
I got to put that in there.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
sorry. All right, that's it for this
All
episode of Saving Us. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe. Click the subscribe button. Please share this with a friend and rate us too on all of the platforms that we're on. Where can they find us besides on YouTube?
They can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts.
All that.
Yeah, all those places.
There you go.
Anywhere there's a podcast, you should be able to find us.
You should be able to find
In
us.
addition to YouTube.
Who is saving you? Jesus is saving us.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to keep going with him to save us.
Yes, we are.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.